Welcome to Agent Amigos TED Talks. Today, learning with machines, my journey through LLMs. This is how I use LLMs to learn complex topics. Sit back, this is going to be worth your time. The problem with learning. I remember sitting in a dimly lit lecture hall, surrounded by 200 other students, all of us frantically scribbling notes as our professor raced through the intricacies of quantum mechanics. The equations flowed like a foreign language, and I felt that familiar sinking feeling. I was lost. I had the textbook, I had the lecture slides, but the gap between what I knew and what I was supposed to know seemed insurmountable. Meeting my first LLM. That night, in desperation, I turned to an AI chatbot, something I had used for trivial tasks before, and I asked it to explain superposition to me like I was 5. What happened next changed the way I learned forever. That simple interaction sparked a journey into using large language models, or LLMs, not as a cheat sheet, but as a dynamic, interactive learning companion. Today, I want to share that journey with you, to show you how these tools have transformed my approach to mastering complex subjects, and how they can do the same for you. The art of asking. This is not about shortcuts, it's about a fundamentally new way to engage with knowledge, one that is personal, patient, and infinitely adaptable. So, let's begin where every learning journey begins, with the problem itself. Now, before I wrap up, I know many of you have questions bubbling up, and I love that. Let's tackle a few that I hear constantly. First, doesn't this make you lazy? Aren't you just outsourcing your thinking? Fair point. Breaking down barriers. But here's the thing, I don't ask LLMs to think for me. I ask them to show me the scaffolding. It's like using a calculator for complex math. You still need to know what to calculate and why. The understanding comes from the dialogue, the follow-up questions, the why behind the answer. Second, how do you know when to trust the output? Great question. I treat every LLM response as a brilliant intern who's eager but occasionally hallucinates. The Socratic tutor. I cross-check with primary sources, I ask for citations, and I use the Socratic method on the model itself. What's the evidence for that? What would disprove it? This habit actually made me a better critical thinker in my human life too. Third, what about the cost or access? Many powerful models have free tiers, and even open-source ones run locally. Start small. You don't need the fanciest tool, you need curiosity and a willingness to iterate. From facts to frameworks. And finally, the one I get most often, where do I even begin? Begin with a question you've always been too embarrassed to ask. Type it in plain language. Ask for an explanation like you're 5, then ask for one like you're a grad student. Compare, contrast, and let the layers peel back. That's the joy, not the answer, but the unfolding. So, what's your burning question? Let's open the floor. I'll take 3 quick ones before we dive into the final takeaway. When the AI gets it wrong. So here we are, at the end of my story, but really, at the beginning of yours. I've shared my framework, my failures, my little victories. But none of that matters if you don't take the next step. Because learning with LLMs isn't about having the fanciest prompt or the most elaborate system. It's about curiosity, and the courage to ask a stupid question. And I promise you, the moment you ask that first awkward question, the one you're afraid to type because it might sound naive, that's when the magic begins. The power of analogy. The AI doesn't judge you. It just responds. And in that response, you'll find a thread to pull. So here's your challenge. Tonight, pick one topic you've always wanted to understand, just one. It could be quantum entanglement, the history of the Silk Road, or how your car's engine actually works. Open your favorite chat interface, and ask it to explain it to you like you're 12. Then ask a follow-up question. Learning by teaching. Then another. Don't stop until you feel that spark of, oh, I get it now. That spark is yours. No one can take it away. And once you feel it, you'll want it again. That's the loop. That's the addiction. And it's a good one. So go ahead, your first question is waiting. But before you go, let me leave you with one final thought. The AI is a tool, but the learner is you. The limits of language. And you, my friend, are far more powerful than any model. Now, let's take a short pause, and then I'll show you how to build your own learning playlist from scratch. Now, let's take a deeper dive into the mechanics of how I actually structure these LLM conversations. It's not just about asking questions, it's about building a dialogue that mirrors how a curious mind naturally explores. I start with a scaffold, a high-level map of the topic, generated by asking the LLM to outline the key pillars. Beyond text, multimodal learning. Then, I zoom into one pillar at a time, asking for analogies, real-world examples, and even what-if scenarios. Here's the trick, I never accept the first answer. I push back. I say, that's a bit too abstract, can you make it more concrete? Or, now explain it to me as if I'm a skeptical teenager. This iterative refinement is where the real learning happens. It forces the model to rephrase, to find new angles, and to expose gaps in my own reasoning. The future of personalized education. Another powerful move is to ask the LLM to generate a quiz or a set of practice problems based on what I've just learned. Then I take that quiz, and any wrong answer becomes the starting point for the next round of questioning. It's like having a personal tutor who never gets tired, never judges, and has infinite patience. But remember, the LLM is a tool, not an oracle. It can hallucinate, it can be confidently wrong. My toolkit, practical tips. So I always cross-check critical facts with primary sources or trusted references. The deeper dive is about active engagement, not passive consumption. It's about treating the LLM as a thinking partner that helps me sharpen my own questions. And that's the real superpower, not the answers, but the quality of the questions we learn to ask. So, as we move to the next part, keep that spirit of curiosity alive. A call to curiosity. So, where does this leave us? I've shown you how I use LLMs as thinking partners, tutors, and even Socratic adversaries. But this is just the beginning. The tools are evolving faster than our habits can keep up. What I'm most excited about is the shift from asking an LLM to explain something, to asking it to co-create a learning path with me. Imagine an AI that doesn't just answer your question, but anticipates your next confusion, and builds a custom mini-lesson before you even realize you're stuck. Audience Q&A. That's not science fiction, it's already happening in beta tools. But here's the catch, the more powerful these models get, the more critical it becomes for us to stay in the driver's seat. We have to keep our curiosity sharp, our skepticism sharper, and our ability to frame questions even sharper. Because an LLM is a mirror of our own thinking, garbage in, garbage out, but brilliance in, brilliance out. So my challenge to you is this, don't just consume these tools. Your turn. Co-opt them. Make them your own. Teach them your quirks, your learning style, your goals. The future isn't about AI replacing our learning, it's about AI amplifying our ability to learn anything, in any field, at any age. And that future starts with the very next question you ask. So go ahead, ask it. That's the handoff to the next part of your own journey. Deeper dive. Deeper dive. What's next? What's next? Thank you for watching Agent Amigos. If this talk sparked something in you, hit like, subscribe to AIMUSICMAN-DB, and share it with one person who needs to hear it. Knowledge is better when it is shared. See you at the next talk.